Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. Sunday, February 4th, NBA and college basketball slate. 9-game slate in the NBA. Quite a few college basketball games going on as well. 2 in the top 25. We're actually on both of those games. So we will get into the mix here for you. So hopefully you guys are having a good weekend with no NFL football for the first time in, 5 months? Definitely a little bit different golf action going on today as well with maybe golf action here. And then, we got, English Premier League soccer. A lot of stuff starting towards the end of the month. I know Formula One starts back up, which we're big bettors on there as well. So a lot of things going on. We'll get into the basketball, get rolling here. Number 2, Purdue. Going to Wisconsin. This line has moved at some books, so it's been 2.5 pretty steadily. Now all of a sudden down to 1.5 as we get closer to game time here. We love Wisconsin today at home. High intensity there in Madison. I just think it's going to be hard for Purdue, even though I think they're the better team. It's going to be hard for them to kind of overcome this. So we're going to take Purdue in this matchup here. So we'll take the Purdue, not Purdue. We're going to take Wisconsin plus a half first half, plus 2.5 for the game. One more time, Wisconsin plus a half first half, plus 2.5 for the game. And money line might be a good option as well on this one here as well. So the next game going into Stanford, Arizona in Tucson. Arizona 17.5 point favorite against Stanford. Now, you got to remember that Arizona was favored by like 18 or 19 in Stanford when they played there earlier this season. Now, Arizona's played like garbage on the road, especially in the northern areas, such as Stanford, Washington, Oregon, all that kind of stuff. But at home, they have been dominant. The 17.5 doesn't scare us here. It shouldn't scare you either. But we're going to take what's Arizona minus 10.5 first half, minus 17.5 for the game. One more time, Arizona minus 10.5 first half, minus 17.5 for the game. We'll get into the NBA slate. 1 o'clock game out here in Phoenix, so 3 o'clock Eastern. Magic go to the Pistons. I don't know if there's a ton to love here. I'll be really honest with you. Kate Cunningham's been back for like 4 games. Pistons have played okay. Magic laying 7 on the road. Are you excited? Nobody's really excited about that one, doing that. But we're just going to have some player props in this particular matchup, a few of those. So Banchero under 26.5 points. His point total wasn't this high when there was no Franz Wagner, let alone now. I understand he's had a couple of good games, but 26.5, when he's got expectations on, they tend to dissipate a little bit. So under 26.5 points, we'll also roll with Banchero under 39.5 par, as he's going to need every bit of those 27 points to get home on that one. And also Wendell Carter with the Magic, over a half a block. Here's what the Pistons love to drive the ball to the hoop. They also shoot a lot of threes, but they're not a team that takes a lot of mid-range jumpers, therefore leaving a lot of block opportunities. So we'll take Wendell Carter over half a block. And Jaden Ivey over 2.5 turnovers. The one thing the Magic have done all season long is turn people over. They get into passing lanes well. So we like that Jaden Ivey over 2.5 turnovers. So one more time, in the Magic Pistons game, Banchero under 26.5 points, under 39.5 par. Wendell Carter over half a block. Jaden Ivey over 2.5 turnovers. Next game up, Suns at the Wizards. This line has moved all around. Opened at 9.5, went to 12.5, now back down to 11.5. And I know Kuzma's out for the Wizards, so it might be hard to get some scoring here. Suns, though, every time they are a huge favorite. And this is true with a lot of the NBA. Double-digit favorites are batting less than 30% so far this season. Especially on the road, they're even worse. So I don't know. Taking the Wizards in anything isn't very exciting, but you have to play the point game. We're not taking a money line here, even though plus 455 does sound kind of appetizing. But I've seen the same Suns team get blown out at Portland. So, and they've been on this long road trip out east. I just think maybe tired legs catch up with them. So we're going to take the Wizards today. We did catch it at the 12.5. Thank goodness we got the extra point. But, I mean, I don't know. I'll be really honest with you. This game they're going to easily cover or they're going to get their doors blown off. So Wizards plus 4.5 first quarter, plus 6.5 first half, plus 12.5 for the game. Denny Avdia over 16.5 points, over 1.5 threes. Suns under the 125.5 team total. I'm just thinking a lot of jumper. I mean, jump shooting team that they definitely are. The Suns are. When they get tired legs on these trips, I'm just thinking short on the jumpers. So one more time in this Wizards-Suns matchup. Wizards plus 4.5 first quarter, plus 6.5 first half, plus 12.5 for the game. Denny Avdia over 16.5 points, over 1.5 threes. And the Suns under the 125.5 team total. Because if they get to 126, I don't know if there is a way for the Wizards to cover. So on that one there. Next game up, we're going to get to here is going to be Clippers at the Heat. So two teams obviously in opposite directions. Clippers over the last 2 months have been the best team in the NBA. Heat over the last 8+ games have been one of the worst teams in the NBA. Clippers only favored by 4. They're on their East Coast swing as well as the Suns are. 224.5 total. I don't think the Heat get right today. The Clippers have played pretty well. Kawhi Leonard's kind of taken over a little bit. Like, he seemed to default to Paul George maybe a little bit earlier in the season, but he's taken over a little bit on that one. I don't know if he's going to get to his point total today, as it's risen to 27.5. And when his number goes up and then you're playing against that Heat defense, makes me a little concerned on that number. But we do like Paul George today, as he's definitely kind of slowed down scoring-wise, but his point total is so down there, I think it's almost a bargain at that price. But anyway, we are taking the Clippers, though. Clippers -1 first quarter, -2.5 first half, -1.5 third quarter, -4 for the game. Paul George over 18.5 points. Russell Westbrook over 12.5 points. Kawhi, normally when his line's at 2.5 threes, we go under. No exception today, as we'll go under 2.5 threes. Paul George over 2.5 threes. Paul George over 26.5 par. And then we go back to the James Harden over 2.5 turnovers at plus 110. I don't think this game is going to be a blowout. He's going to have to play all 4 quarters, which leads to more opportunities for turnovers. And the Heat do turn people over still, even though they're extremely offensive challenged, as they have been in years past. I don't know why. I mean, Terry Rozier, they haven't figured out how to let him kind of cook. Jimmy Butler, I think, gets a little bit too ball dominant. It looks great in the playoffs when a little bit more iso ball and pick and rolls involved. But when you're in these regular season games, we've got to get these other dudes involved. So he's got shooters, Hero, and then also I love Bam Adebayo's game as well to get to the rim. And Adebayo, you would think, would be a huge portion today, as they don't really have a rim protector with the Clippers. So if Butler can be more of a facilitator in the regular season, maybe take over a little bit more in the postseason, I think they got something to work with there. But we don't think that's going to happen today. The Clippers -1 first quarter, -2.5 first half, -1.5 third quarter, -4 for the game. Paul George over 18.5 points, over 2.5 threes, over 26.5 par. Russell Westbrook has also been playing really well as of late, over 12.5 points. Kawhi Leonard, we normally go under 2.5 threes when his number's at 2.5, so we'll take under that. Even though he's been draining some threes as of late. Hell, he started off, I think he hit his first 4 threes in his last game. But expect him to probably take a lot more mid-range in this game today, as the Heat three-point defense can be relatively good. So on that. Harden over 2.5 turnovers as well in this one, in that game there. Next game up, Grizzlies Celtics. So the Grizzlies are without John Morant, obviously out for the season. Steven Adams, they traded. Guys have been hurt all over it. Now Jaren Jackson is added to the injury report. This is why this line's went up from like 16.5 to 18. So where do they get the scoring from? I'll be really honest, I don't know. But this is what I do know. The Celtics tend to play down or play up to the competition. 18 points is a monster number. This is like damn near 21 in football. So this one we're definitely going to take. I mean, this is one of those games where we're just going to take the points and hope and pray almost on this one. I just can't see a way to get away from this one. I've been looking at it, trying to figure out how to not bet it. But we like this one here. So we'll take Grizzlies +6 first quarter, +10.5 first half, +5.5 third quarter, and +18 for the game. Celtics under 117.5 team total. This is the way I think that the Grizzlies are going to get home. Slow the pace way down. The Celtics struggle a little bit in the half-court offense. If you let them fly and let the fast break offense, they shoot threes from their fast break three offense is the best in the league, and it's not close because they have so many options. But you make them slow the ball down, throw the ball around a couple times, let Tatum take some ridiculous effing shot because he doesn't want to give the ball up because he doesn't know if he's going to get it back. So on that one. Then Tatum over 2.5 turnovers. So one more time in this Grizzlies-Celtics matchup. Grizzlies +6 first quarter, +10.5 first half, +5.5 third quarter, +18 for the game. Celtics under the 117.5 team total, and Tatum over 2.5 turnovers. And that was like +140 on DraftKings earlier. Next game up, a lot of injuries in this game. Don't know what the heck's going to go on. So Pacers at the Hornets. Lines have been anywhere from 10, 10.5. Total 236.5. The Hornets have absolutely sucked. LaMelo Ball's not on the injury report, but not playing, and he's supposedly hurt. How the hell is he not on the injury report? Is he out for an extended period of time again, and nobody's made us all aware? Or maybe it's just me. It could be me. I'm there. Halliburton's game time decision again. Don't know if he's going to play. Don't know who the hell's going to play. I mean, Siakam in the last game, this dude, he's frustrating. Like, Siakam, they want you there to score. So take the effing ball to the hoop. Be aggressive with this. This is a scoring team. This team's not going to win a championship by playing defense. Now, they need to play some defense, but a majority of the time they don't. We're not going to take a side or total in this particular one because I don't know if the Hornets can score enough, to be really honest. They only really have 2 scoring options. But we will take Bridges today and a couple player props. Miles Bridges over 25.5 points. And over 2.5 threes. One more time, Miles Bridges over 25.5 points, over 2.5 threes in that Pacers-Hornets game. Make sure you do come back, check out the Google Sheets. We might update this a little bit closer to game time. Maybe we have a better idea who the hell is going to play in this matchup. So make sure you do check back on that. Next game up, Thunder, Raptors. Thunder opened at, what'd they open at? 9.5. Now it's down to 8.5, even though it was up as high as 10. Raptors coming to town. Raptors, ever since they made those trades, obviously to make Scotty Barnes kind of the focal piece. RJ Barrett's went out hurt. Manuel Quickley's been in and out of the lineup. Bill inconsistent. Podol's back, but he hasn't been playing as many minutes in this one. We like the Thunder, though, are one of the best cover teams out there against the number. So we're just going to roll with the Thunder again. We got them at 9.5. It's at 8.5, so even better for you. Thunder -3 first quarter, -4.5 first half. Thunder -9.5 for the game. And then we're going Holmgren and SGA crazy. So Holmgren over 18.5 points, over 1.5 threes, 3+ threes, +250 on FanDuel. Holmgren over 29.5 par, over 2.5 blocks. And then SGA 2+ steals and then 3+ steals. It was +220 on FanDuel. The Raptors turn the ball over a lot, so we're going to play right into SGA. They really don't have if Quickly's not playing, don't have a true point guard, which makes it even tougher for them to kind of get into their offense. But the Thunder normally don't play down or up to competition, which definitely helps against. That's why they're so good against the number. They're just pretty consistent overall. So that's why we'll take the Thunder today. We're comfortable at that number for sure. So Thunder -3 first quarter, -4.5 first half, -9.5 for the game. Holmgren over 18.5 points, over 1.5 threes, also 3+ threes, over 29.5 par, over 2.5 blocks. SGA 2+ steals and 3+ steals. Next game up, Rockets T-Wolves. T-Wolves favored by 7, 221.5. Rockets are a tale of two teams as they are very good at home against the number. They are really bad on the road against the number. But we really don't like the 7 there, but we do like the total, and we like the under in this particular matchup. The T-Wolves have struggled to score. They played really good defensively, but Anthony Edwards is one of those guys, again, like if he needs to take over in the first quarter. I understand getting everybody else involved, but that team feeds off of when AE is doing something. So we're going to roll with the under here. Under 54.5 first quarter, under 108.5 first half, under 221 for the game. Anthony Edwards under 26.5 points, under 2.5 threes, and under 37.5 par, as we just think the scoring is going to be down, or we think the Rockets get blown out, which is a good possibility, and AE sitting for the fourth quarter. So Rockets T-Wolves under 54.5 first quarter, under 108.5 first half, under 221 for the game. Anthony Edwards under 26.5 points, under 2.5 threes, under 37.5 par. Next game up is going to be Bucks Jazz. Giannis on the injury report, game time decision. So not sure if he's going to play, as he's normally not. It's not like the Lakers where LeBron and AD are on the injury report every day, but Bucks Jazz, Bucks getting somewhere to 2.5, total of 246.5. We like the over here regardless if Giannis plays. The Jazz don't like to play defense and they like to score. It kind of meshes with what the Bucks do, right? So we like over 60.5 first quarter, over 120.5 first half, over 246.5 for the game. Going back to the Colin Sexton, his number was 19.5, 20.5. Most places it was 20.5, but 19.5 on DraftKings, a little juicier, but I think well worth it just get that extra point on there. So Colin Sexton over 19.5 points, over 1.5 threes. Marketing over 23.5 points, over 2.5 threes. And because we just don't know who's going to play yet, Bucks over the 122.5 team total. I think they're going to get, this game could be played in the 130s on both sides. I just don't, if Giannis plays, then we'll probably have some plays we're going to make off of Giannis. Giannis had a huge game last night. If he's going to play, then we'll probably come back with some player props. So do make sure you check out those Google Sheets. Next game up, Blazers at the Nuggets. Normally, the rule of thumb is no matter what the line is on the Blazers on the road, go ahead and bet against them. But this number is huge for a Denver offense that kind of seems like they're in cruise control. And it's hard to play this number. It's up to 14 already in a game that's at 220. A little bit harder to cover, I think, unless you're going to hold the Blazers to under 100 on that one. So we're going to roll with the Blazers tonight. We did get it at 13.5, though. I thought the line was going to go the opposite way, but Blazers plus 4.5 first quarter, plus 8.5 first half, plus 4 third quarter as well. Give me 1 second here, folks. Do apologize. And then also plus 13.5 for the game. Anthony Simons over 23.5 points. If they can run their offense like they did the other night, where Simons got like 26, 27, that is a winning formula for the Blazers. So Simons over the 23.5 points. We do like Aaron Gordon, though, today for the Nuggets, as the Blazers don't really have a matchup for him, especially on the interior defense for them is not strong, especially if you're going to put 8 as your rim protector. So Gordon over 14.5 points. Anthony Simons over 4+ three-pointers. Jokic over 2.5 turnovers, and Nuggets under the 116.5 team total. The Nuggets are one of the best under teams in the NBA. They tend to score a lot of points when needed, but not unless needed. It's not like they're going to go out and win this game 130-100, more than likely. So one more time in this Blazers-Nuggets matchup. Blazers plus 4.5 first quarter, plus 8.5 first half, plus 4 third quarter, plus 13.5 for the game. Simons over 23.5 points, 4+ three-pointers. Aaron Gordon over 14.5 points. Jokic over 2.5 turnovers, and the Nuggets under the 116.5 team total. Now, I've mentioned this multiple times before in this show. Make sure you do check out the Google Sheet. The link is in our comments section. It'll say docs.google.spreadsheet. This is a ledger of all of our bets, what juice we got them at, how many units we placed, and then also what book we placed them at. Then at the end of the game is obviously the result. So do make sure you check that out when you get some time. Much easier to kind of maybe follow our bets there. We give you a little bit of synopsis here, but a ledger of the bets definitely on the Google Sheet. So check that out when you get a couple minutes. And as always, if you can subscribe and get notifications to the YouTube channel, makes your life so much easier once you hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications for YouTube. You get a notification to your phone or device to let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped a new video or new episode of bets, and you give you plenty of time to match them up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.